All right, now we are joined by Texas A&M defensive line coach Sean Spencer. Sean, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. So we got to meet Shemar Turner a little bit ago, and this guy just has an infectious personality. And then when he put on the tape, you can see how that energy, that infectious attitude really translates. So I'm just curious, what were the ways, or in what way was he a tone setter for you guys? Was it on the field, off the field? How did that personality, how that infectious attitude translate to your team?
Well, one of the things is, it's two of us. So it's myself and 𝗏cie 𝗰𝗶𝗹 that coach the defensive line. And 𝗏cie had an outstanding long relationship with him, dating back to when he helped recruit him to come to Texas A&M. So, obviously, there's a lot of trust developed, you know what I mean? And, the departure of Coach E, was tough for Shemar, I think. But, in terms of him, buying into what we wanted to do, and he was with 𝗏𝗀 when he was a freshman, Coach 𝗏𝗀, and obviously he goes hard in practice, from start to finish. Every rep is full speed. His drill work is unbelievable. Just the consistency and patience he has to detail his technique. And that's one of the reasons I think he's going to have a lot of success at the next level. I even talked to Gervon Dexter about him, and I was telling him, you're going to be excited to play with him. I said, because both of you cats are crazy.
Oh, Gervon. So you have a relationship with Gervon Dexter?
Yeah, I coached him at Florida. Yes, sir.
Oh, amazing. Wow. Okay. So interestingly, so Gervon obviously was this 2-gapper at Florida, and then the Bears are asking him to be a 1-gapper. It seems like it is going to be the same with Shemar. Do you think that's an opportunity where Shemar can learn for Gervon, or what in Shemar's game tells you that he can have success as a 1-gapper, making that transition from a 2-gapper?
Well, last year we really didn't play a lot of 2-gapper. I mean, we obviously played gap and a half based on the block, right? But as much as Gervon had to do, Gervon was at times he really was a 2-gap player, but we played more of a shaded front here at Texas A&M, and so this will not be uncommon for Shemar. So I don't think the transition is really going to be hard. He's played on the edge. He was a 5 technique, and he was all conference when he was a 5 technique, and then moved inside and transitioned to a kind of like a 3-2 guy, and at times a 0 in the sub package. So the transition won't be hard for him at all. Explosive, quick first step, strong hands, quick at the point of attack. I mean, all the things that would be highly successful in that type of.
You mentioned the transition from outside to inside. What went into that decision to move him from 5 tech to an interior guy?
So I think once we came here, in order to all the guys on the field. So you had Shemar Stewart, 1st-round pick. You had Nick Gordon, 2nd-round pick. You had him, Shemar Turner, was a 3. So now you got 3 top picks in the draft that you could put on the field at the same time. Shemar Turner could have definitely played the big end spot for us, but it was more beneficial to the team and a testament to the kid that, after being an all-conference player that was outside, was willing inside for the betterment of the team.
And then not everybody can make that transition. I heard he put on over 30 pounds to move inside, and not everybody can do that. So what were the things that made him successful moving from the edge to the interior?
So really, he gets a gap closer to the football, really, right? So you're a 5 technique, you're in the C gap, you're outside shade on the tackle. If you're a 3 technique, you're outside shade on the guard. So clearly, at that point in time, there's more people that can block you. So taking on double teams and things like that. One of the coolest things about him was, we had played against some teams that really didn't run what we call duo and double teams. Really didn't run that. And then when we were going into one of the games, the teams we were playing, he knew that they were running it. And he was so excited. He was like, I get to strike somebody and take on some double teams. I was like, well, that's one approach to it. And that was good,
I love it. Now, with somebody whose motor runs so hot, we saw some of the personal fouls, we saw some of the flags. What are the challenges for you as a coach to dial him back and play up to the edge of the line, but not cross that line? What was the key for you guys there?
Well, obviously we curbed those things from his first couple of years to last year, and some of those things teetered on, right at the line, right, and then you don't want him to cross it, but he's going to learn, like, how to approach the game a different way. It's hard, man, to turn that guy's motor off, right? Like, you don't want to turn it off, but you don't want to get costly penalties. And I think he learned from that, and he understands that, like, really at that level, he's going to have to change that type of stuff. But it's not a problem. It's not going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Or you're getting a dog, man. You know what I mean? So sometimes the dog want to jump off the porch. You got to hold him back on a leash, but you want him to get up. You want him to be ready to jump off that porch at any time to take the intruder. So that's the kind of guy you're going to get.
Yeah. You say he's a dog. I mean, played through the pain of a stress fracture, had the rod in his leg. What did you learn about Shemar as he's gotten through what seems to be what I would imagine is a very painful situation with those stress fractures, staying on the field and playing through it?
Well, absolutely, just a tough individual, right? Like, him and Javon are two of the toughest guys I've coached at the college level, and just tough. And, you never really knew it because you never complained about it, right? Like, so, and it didn't affect the way he practiced. It didn't affect the way he played. So obviously this threshold of pain is, on another level, almost inhuman. But, he'll learn how to manage that at the next level, and, they'll take care of him, and he'll be prepared for the game.
And then last question, what do people not know about Shemar Turner that they should know?
Well, I think the exterior of that personality, that dog mentality, that, crazy guy on the field that coaches love, off the field, man, he keeps to himself. He's just a normal guy, man. Keeps to himself, never, not a guy that's going to go out and act out. Like, he's just really reserved, man, and just enjoys being around his family and being around his friends. And, the exterior that you see on the field is what you want, right? But just uniquely, when when football's over, he's just going home by himself. So, and he's just hanging out with, like I said, with his family, with his buddies, and he's a real more of an introvert that way than you would expect from a guy that plays at that level.
Amazing. Well, Sean Spencer, defensive line coach for Texas A&M, joining us on the recruiting trail. Thank you so much, Sean. Really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, man. I enjoyed it. I had this coffee macchiato, man, with almond milk. Highly recommend it. Get it hot. You know what I'm saying? Get you a tall one. Get you through the day.